It's time to mock draft from every draft slot. I'm going to start off with the 1.01 and work my way all the way to the 1.12. This is Dynasty. What's the best approach? Going running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, wide receiver? Should you take Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson at 2.12 or 3.01? We're going to break it all down, and I'm going to tell you what's the best draft approach from the 1.01. Top 5 running backs.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty. Take a lap. Okay, so full disclosure, this ADP data is going to be iffy at times. You're going to see some players fall that won't normally fall. You might see guys go early that might not normally go early. But we're going to work around it, talk around it, try and come up with the best possible options for you. So let's grab this 1.1. We'll go against the computer to make this thing fast. Okay, so at 1.1, I'm not going to argue with you if you want McCaffrey or Barkley. And if I had the 1.1 in two different drafts side by side, I'd go Barkley in one and McCaffrey in the other. If I've got to pick, I'm going to go with Barkley, who I think is going to have a big time 2020. I'm talking like 80 receptions, 15 total touchdowns, maybe flirt with 2,000 total yards. I think Barkley is going to remind everybody why he's the 1.01 for the now and for the future. Okay, so looking at this draft, you have McCaffrey going 2, Mike Thomas going 3, kind of surprising, but it happens, and Zeke Elliott at 4, Kamara 5, DeAndre Hopkins 6, Dalvin Cook 7, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Joe Mixon, par for the course. I mean, Godwin, Nick Chubb, DJ Moore at 2.01. I don't know why. Let me pause the draft so I can talk about this and go on a rant here. I don't know why DJ Moore is getting drafted so high. And I get the appeal. He's a good wide receiver. There's a lot of reason to be worried about him gaining you back 2.1 overall value, even 2.12. DJ Moore should not be your second drafted player. If you walk out of your draft with DJ Moore as your second drafted player, your team is going to look light. It's going to look like somebody took away your second round pick and you walked out of your draft without a second drafted player. Amari Cookper, way too high. Juju, that's got to be some kind of last year's data pushing him into the second round. Mike Evans, Derrick Henry fell way too far. Put Henry more toward the front end of that second round. Jacobs at 2.6. Now, you might laugh at this if you're in the know. If you're in my community, you know that Josh Jacobs has top 9 to 14 overall value. But you're going to walk into a lot of your magazine drafting leagues where people don't prep until the last second. They aren't in the know with who's going up and who's going down on the ADP boards. Jacobs could very well go this late in your draft. Now, much is determined by that pre-rank list on your league management software. So if Jacobs is lining up at 12, 13 overall, that's going to push him into that 12 or 13 overall pick in most drafts, because magazine drafters do just that. They do what they're told. And if Jacobs is ranked 13th and they're on the clock at 2.01, you can be damn sure that they're going to take Jacobs versus letting him fall. So much is dependent on that pre-rank list. George Kittle over the middle.
Copyright Dr. Ross 2020.
He's a tough guy to rank because he deserves the 2.7. This is Dynasty. Now, this is a Dynasty mock draft, so he's deserving of the 2.7. He's deserving to get drafted before Kittle because it's Dynasty. I'm not disliking him here, but I tend to go with if Jacobs were there. A.J. Brown's a great draft selection here. But with Drake and Ekeler still on the board, I would definitely have taken one of those running backs at 2.7. So now you got Galladay, A.J. Brown. I feel like I've created this movement because A.J. Brown a month ago was a 4th round pick. Why is he in the 2nd round time and time again? I thought it was just our community drafting A.J. Brown in the 2nd round, and you guys were going way too high based on all the hype I've been tossing out. But I'm looking around at different mock draft communities, and I'm seeing A.J. Brown around 2.11 to 3.02. He's climbing. I like to think we had something to do with that. And honestly, I'm feeling like A.J. Brown, and honestly, I'm very, very happy that I have A.J. Brown in like 8 leagues already before the value climb happened. Miles Sanders is, again, a good running back. There's no denying he's very valuable in PPR, that he's got Alvin Kamara type upside. But the Eagles have been known to run more than one running back, and is Boston Scott a huge threat? Probably not. But Hyde almost signed with the Eagles. We don't know where Devonta Freeman's going to fall. You can say Freeman's garbage or he won't hurt Miles Sanders' value at all. I get where you're coming from if you're a Miles Sanders believer or if you've already invested in him. But there's some risk, just like DJ Moore, of making him your second drafted player. That's all I'm trying to tell people. I'm not trying to tell you to stay away from Miles Sanders. But if Ekeler and Drake are still on the board, what are you doing passing on either one of those guys for Miles Sanders? In my opinion, Odell Beckham Jr., I feel like that has something to do with last year's stats in the ADP. I don't know. Resume the draft. I'm on the clock. Man, I love Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. I love Drake. I love Ekeler. Because it's Dynasty, I have to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a guy I believe is going to be top 5 running back bound. I think I'm pausing the draft so I can dance on this topic for a while. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be the next Maurice Jones-Drew. His micro movement ability to make defenders roll right off of him is unmatched already in the NFL, and he hasn't even played it down yet. Let me repeat that.
Already.
I don't care if he hasn't played an NFL down yet. I'm in the prediction business. It's my job to predict what's going to happen, not be Captain Obvious at the end and let you know, oh, by the way, this guy's a top 5 running back. He's on his way to top 5. I feel it in my gut. Every year, I have a gut instinct on a guy. I thought it was A.J. Brown, and I'm pretty sure it's still going to be. I think I've got a gut instinct. I think I've got 2 deep in my soul gut instinct calls in 2020. Probably 3, probably 4. Might I remind you, Dalvin Cook was one last year when people were like, it's too risky to take Dalvin Cook in the late second round, Smitty.
He could get hurt.
The risk is not baked in. The risk was baked in. You just didn't smell it. Dalvin Cook was a top 5 running back wrapped all up in second round value, late second round value. Kenyan Drake, same thing. Kenyan Drake is this year's Dalvin Cook. He has top 5 running back upside, and all the risk you're worried about, you don't sniff out that it's already baked into his second round ADP. Ekeler was a top 5 running back last year. Oh, but Ekeler, he fell off when Gordon showed up. Where's Gordon? He's in Denver. I know Phillip Rivers is gone, but Ekeler's going to be given 400 or more rushing yards on top of his PPR goodness. So if he drops off at all, Ekeler will regain what he loses in PPR work because laser locking Phillip Rivers is elsewhere, but he gets it back in the rushing department. I love Ekeler in 2020. I don't know how I don't take Ekeler right here. I don't know how I don't take Drake right here. In fact, somebody, hey computer, will you make a trade with me?
Here's something I found on the web. According to Fool.com.
Computer, stop. I can't make a trade with the computer. I want another pick here. I want to trade all of my picks down below. I want to trade my 7, my 6, my 5. I'll give my 8 too so I can get that 3.2 so I can make 2 picks here. Because I want Edwards, I want Drake, I want Ekeler. But I can't have them all. I want Mahomes here too. Mahomes is one of my favorite picks in Dynasty because he could be with you for over a decade, dropping top 5 overall numbers. So Mahomes here is gold in Dynasty. But it's so hard to pass on Ekeler. It's so hard to pass on Drake. Jonathan Taylor. Julio Jones, even though it's Dynasty, is tough not to pair up and get, something. I'm going to go with Ekeler here. Let's go with Mahomes right here and see if we can build a wide receiver crew that makes us feel comfortable enough passing over a wide receiver right here to deploy this more aggressive running back, Pat Mahomes strategy. Again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to have a guy like Mahomes who could literally outscore everybody in the entire league. Barkley, the same thing. You have two players that could literally outscore everybody in the entire league in terms of fantasy football scoring, and you get Clyde Edwards-Helaire as well. I'm going Mahomes here. I'm just going to see what we can build. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I won't love a different approach more, because we will reverse engineer this thing. I'll go backwards in time and show you what the team would look like without taking Mahomes there. And I might like it better, and this is coming from a early QB supporter, an advocate of that draft approach. Here we go. We're on the clock, so let's go through what happened when Mahomes, Kelsey, Ekeler. So sad to see him go. Sutton, Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen. God, Drake hasn't gone yet. Jonathan Taylor, Julio. Drake went at 3.12. Magazine drafters might let that happen. Just know it. Diggs, Lamar. Lamar fell to 4.2. Fournette, DK, JK, CD Lamb. Again, this is Dynasty. Okay, we're on the clock. Let me pause the draft because I'm about to time out. Kyler Murray's there. That makes this hard. That makes it one of the reasons you do wait for a QB. I love drafting Mahomes. This is Dynasty. Kyler also has tremendous Dynasty value and appeal. So reverse engineering this, we'll look at it in a second. Will we rather have Kyler right here? We'll find out. I'm a big advocate of Mahomes early. That doesn't mean it will create the best team in every draft slot. From the 1.01 or 1.02 draft slot, maybe it is better to wait on a QB. We'll find that out. So I've got two running backs. Looking at the running backs anyways, I'm not blown away by the options left. Akers, Montgomery, Singletary, Carson, Connor, Hunt, Vaughn. Not loving that. So I'm glad we got two running backs already. Wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy in Dynasty wouldn't be half bad here. Woods, a lot of people love Woods right now. Thielen's too old. Devontae Parker is not bad. Will Fuller. Hollywood Brown I love. At tight end, we've got Ertz, we've got Waller, we've got Ingram. I bet you Waller falls to the next bookend picks we have. So we're kind of stuck going wide receiver here. Jeudy and Hollywood Brown? If we do that, are we risking, by going Jeudy so early, maybe being a team that doesn't compete as much this year as it will next year, but still a team that can put up the points? Jefferson, Parker. I'm not feeling any of the other players jumping out. I think Judy's worth the risk here. CD Lamb already went at 4.7. If this is a dynasty, I'm gonna go Jeudy here. And then we're on the clock again. Do we go Debo? Do we go Woods? Do we go I'm banking on Waller coming back. Montgomery's not bad. Let's go Hollywood Brown. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Hollywood Brown at 5.1. Will he fall? He might fall. Let's go. God, to have Kyler Murray still sitting here. We're gonna reverse engineer this and take Kyler Murray or Watson and see if we like the team better. But let's go with okay, we're going Debo. Let's go Debo and see if we can get Hollywood Brown to fall. If Hollywood Brown and Waller fall, I will absolutely love this team. Now, will I love it more than if we went Kyler at that 4-5 turn? We might. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that going QB early is bad. It just means there are multiple ways to win. Hollywood Brown made it back. Proof that you don't take guys too early if you don't have to. Because look what we just did. We're able to secure Debo. We got Jerry Jeudy. Now I can get Hollywood Brown. Going over to tight end, I love Darren Waller. That team, let me pause this so I can reverse engineer this bad boy. That team is lit. Okay, look at this team. Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jerry Jeudy, Debo Samuel, Waller, and Hollywood Brown. Dynasty. I would love this team. But let's reverse engineer this bad boy and look at what it would be like to take Kyler Murray instead of Mahomes? Let's rewind time.
If I could turn back time.
Okay, turning back time. This is the same exact draft. We just haven't taken Patty Mahomes here. So we're on the clock. If we weren't taking Pat Mahomes, the options were at running back. We were looking at the options we were looking at were Ekeler, Drake, Julio Jones, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, Julio was there. You know, we could get Kelsey, but this is dynasty, so I'm going to avoid that approach. Let's go with Ekeler. I think they're kind of equals in my mind, so I'm just going to pick Ekeler right now. And let's resume the draft now and reverse engineering this. Let's figure out what team we would have. There went Mahomes. There went Mahomes. Calvin, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones fell so far. Lamar, JK, Kenyan Drake. Man, Kenyan Drake just went at 4.3. Don't expect that, but again, in magazine drafting environments, you might find that. Don't count on it, though. Okay, we're on the clock now. Leonard Fournette's still there. I feel like we're a part of that movement, too. Debo. So we're going Kyler here. We've already kind of committed that. Yeah, Kyler's still there. Kyler. We've got Ekeler. And now we kind of go best player. No, we have to go wide receiver. Let's say we go Debo. Let's take the same plan of attack. We'll take Debo, and then we'll take Hollywood Brown on the way back. Hollywood Brown and Waller. Let's kind of keep all the variables similar so that we can kind of keep this controlled, this little experiment controlled. And we'll take a look at the two teams. Watson's a great value at 5.5. I'm not going to focus too much on the entire mock draft because the players are kind of out of place in some respects, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll cover ADP data and stuff on another video. We're on the clock now. Let me pause the draft. Debo, we could go Hollywood Brown. He's really close to being the top player available, so I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to make him one of these two picks here. Waller is still there at running back. Carson Hunt. I do like Kareem Hunt here, but we've already got 3 running backs. I kind of need. Let's go Hollywood Brown here, and then kind of let the next. We'll put ourselves back on the clock and put the pressure on. I'm feeling like Waller is a great pick here. I love Kareem Hunt here though. I just feel like he's a league winner. For the sake of making it the same, I want to go Kareem Hunt here, but. Let's go Waller for the sake of making it the same draft. And let's look at the team. So Kyler Murray, Barkley, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Austin Ekeler, and then Debo, Marquise Brown, and Darren Waller. So the difference is Kyler Murray and Ekeler versus Jeudy and Mahomes would be kind of the difference there. And I love Kyler Murray enough to where, Brandon Cooks timed out. We'll take it. Who could we have had? Let's take a look. Who could we have had? Ingram. We want Ingram. We're not okay with that noise. Give me Mark Ingram, I think. Let me look. Mostert's not bad. Wide receiver. Brandon Cooks. Yeah, we're gonna throw Ingram on our roster. Mark Ingram. Damn, that's a good looking team. I don't know what team I like better. The Mahomes, Barkley, Edwards-Helaire, Jeudy, Marquise Brown, Waller, and give me Mark Ingram on that team too. So I don't know what team you like better. You tell me. But I think both of them are league winners. And I think bottom line is that you can build a league winning machine from either approach, the going quarterback early or waiting on Kyler, or even if you waited on a quarterback even further down the way. But the bottom line is both of these teams in Dynasty would be teams to reckon with, I think, right away. Obviously, the Jeudy built team might be more of a year behind than the other team, but I think we proved today that you can go quarterback early and still have a dominant team, but there's nothing wrong with waiting either. That's the 1.01. Next video is going to be the 1.02. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.